Alright, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to Hunt T Platinum. Today we're getting Deadcraft Platinum, so let's jump right in. Right, so Deadcraft is a top-down zombie killer game. It is so much fun. Very management heavy, especially when it comes to resources, inventory, your home base, things of the sort. There's a lot that goes into this game. Your health bar is affected by several different things, not just getting hit, but you do have a hunger bar, a thirst meter, and an energy meter you have to take care of and make sure stays up, otherwise you will start losing health, as well as the other things, like I said, getting attacked and whatnot. This game is a whole lot of fun, though. I really fell in love with it. It kind of gave me a bit of a mixed vibe of another zombie tower defense, I think it's called, and Fallout in a way. So your main character, Reed, he's honestly not very personable. I didn't really like him for most of the game, so I just kind of ignored most of the things he said, and just kind of paid more attention to what everyone else was saying. But here, especially, this is kind of where I wanted to pay attention to Reed. Because apparently it turns out that the reason why we looked so messed up and so funky is because we are half zombie. But, you know, of course, we're the only half zombie around, at least that's what everyone thinks. And, you know, everyone's kind of curious, you know, how does a half zombie, half human exist? You know, a lot of people are off-put, especially early on, with your appearance and everything like that, but this guy, Zombie Gramps, he wants everything to do with the fact that you're half and half. Alright, so the first trophy here is Cockfight. This is for beating the Balkers for the very first time. The Balkers are kind of like the main enemy-ish besides the zombies. Here, early on there, the main ones you're going to fight human enemies. They're fairly easy. They don't necessarily always come in a large group, but they're not too bad to take out, and they are super useful later on. Senior caregiver brings Zombie Gramps back to the slums, essentially just returning him home. Zombie Gramps was who you saw earlier in the video, who was basically telling you how you're half zombie, half human hybrid. He's the one that does all those crazy experiments on you and research, I should say. But he is one of the best, if not my favorite character in the entire game. I love every opportunity I get to go to him. He always has something cool to give you in exchange. Alright, this trophy is for pushing the zombie scale all the way to max human. So right there next to all the bars there in the top left corner that show a half human, half zombie, that shows the balance of the virus and human side in your body. So in order to get this trophy, there are certain food items that boost humanity. Zombie, you just want to keep boosting humanity to the max. So okay, on the flip side, we now have Undead Man Walking. This is for doing the exact opposite of the last trophy. So instead of pushing yourself to max human, you're going to push yourself to max zombie. There are pros and cons to doing so, of course, to each side. But again, there are a lot of items that will give you more virus, quote unquote, to push your zombie toward the max. So when you're out and about in the slums, there are plenty of shops that can help you get plenty of resources for your base, to help restore all your meters there in the top left corner, and other things of the sort. Bargain Hunter here is for buying literally any item from any shop. It doesn't have to be the one I went to here in this video. It can be any shop. While they're having a sale, you just have to buy one item. There is a week schedule, so you just have to figure out which and when they're on sale. Good with your hands. This is for going back to your home base and building your very first item on the crafting table. It could be, again, whatever. Make sure that there is a tutorial when you first get back to kind of teach you how to do crafting, which will pretty much unlock this for you right away. Good with your hands. This is for going back to your home base and building. Slasher. This is pretty straightforward, very easy trophy. You'll get very early on in the game, just like I did here. Essentially, just go after the zombies with the rusty knife that you build, and just go at them. It will automatically pop because the auto target and the assist that this game gives you when you're actually locked on, or if you're just free swinging, it helps a lot. So I wanted to squeeze this in here because this is going to lead right into the next trophy on our list, which is going to be Plants Versus. I just want to show off, this is how you get essentially how you start the process of Plants Versus. You got to get an average Frankie Sprout, and Zombie Gramps will gracefully teach you. I wanted to squeeze this in here.
Leave me alone. Shit.
See you.
Stop looking. No mercy. What's the matter?
No mercy. No, this is not a Left Dead reference. This is for killing. The description is killing someone in cold blood during the shakedown.
Who's next?
I missed my first opportunity here. I accidentally performed an execution. But the second guy here, he falls down. He's just about ready to keel over. Press triangle, and I decide to take all the stuff, which pops.
So this goes. All right.
I love the first time you make something new. Zombie crab or the regular crab. You get this cool animation. This is for creating the ZPS. It's basically your fast travel throughout the game. The most useful thing, I swear. Enjoy the little animation for crafting a pea shooter. Now, the downside about this game is there are a lot of grindy trophies. This is one of them, but honestly, personally, I always loved doing this in games in general. There's always something peaceful about it. This is for harvesting 100 crops from your fields. Now, you are not limited to just one field. You can build as many fields as you want. Later in the game, you're going to need... I got up to about 4. So the way you use like the pea shooters and other kind of traps and whatnot is you go into your inventory and you have to actually place them down, like you seen me do earlier in the video with the Frankie. This is Battlefield Tactician. This is for setting 50 of those placeables. Now I do believe you can kind of cheese this by picking them back up and then going back into your inventory and pulling them, but I don't know for certain. Back to the environment. This is for defeating Brandon. He's a big nuisance throughout the very first, I would say, act of the game. He's the, I don't want to say the leader of the walkers, but he's essentially like their direct supervisor, I guess. Because Brandon still does answer up the chain to Nebron ultimately. But this is for taking them out and defeat. So with your zombie side, you have special zombie powers. Tastes Like Chicken is for using the Devour power for the very first time successfully. Now this one is a bit tricky to get because even at low health, enemies can fight off and it really is just kind of a luck of the draw to get this one. This is when I got it. This is, I believe, the second part. This is the beginning part of the arc. In this clip here, I'm just outside the slums. The footage for the actual trophy when I got the power to activate was really bad. I understand the angle barely see anything. So I did kind of want to show off our action again, alongside why you should kind of keep Franklin's out all the time. They're so powerful. In this Wanted Man, this, I'm not gonna lie, try to just do this once and then never try to get it back up this high again. This is for maxing out your wanted meter there. You got 4 X's. You gotta get all the way to the 4th. Just keep killing people around the slums. It's the easiest way to do it. Yeah, try not to do everything. It really is painful to get full down. It's so long. Here I just upgraded the campfire, and I just really enjoyed the animation, not gonna lie. I wanted to highlight this specifically because the 15,000 fee that you're going to see here that he asks is rather absurd. However, not only is it worthwhile because you get a lot more space at your base, but you are going to have to do this for another trophy that we are going to go over later on down the line. He's going to ask, I think, a total of 3 times to expand this. So this part here, I'm showing off 2 things. One, this area that I'm in will be available after Vernon clears the area for the 15,000 Zol. And the second thing I'm showing off here is the machine cutter, and also the very first time you can use the machine cutter alongside the animation. I really enjoyed the fact that they took the time out to make these animations for each time.
Alright.
It's super cool. Now listen, we've all been there, but no, you cannot fix her. Moving right along, we're getting another trophy here. This is for defeating 500 zombies, professional zombie hunter. Go out and slaughter them, keep going. You're gonna have to slaughter them through missions, through transporting really anything. So honestly, every time you come across one, mow it down. This eventually will pop for you. Alright, next trophy on our list is Problem Solver. This is essentially for completing outright 100 missions across the board. It doesn't matter if it's, as you see here, a mission board quest, a main quest, a side quest. As long as it is a mission in general, take it through to the end, complete it, it'll count toward these 100. And yeah, after a while it'll pop. Got him! Alright, another main story quest coming at you here. This is for defeating Duna. The trophy subsequently is not that into you. She's absolutely crazy. The second you step foot on the arc for the very first time, she's like, oh, that's my boyfriend, and sends all her elites and everyone after her. She's a pain. Her and Jessica are crazy. Can't fix either one of them, don't even try. Here I'm using the upgraded smelter for the very first time. Again, just a really awesome animation that the devs and all of them took the time to create. I really enjoy these, like I've been saying throughout the video. Also, I guess while I'm here, I'll get to tell you that those, I think like after conquering Obsidian Bar, you need the upgraded smelter. Here, like I was saying earlier in the video, this game has a lot of micromanagement, including your resources and everything like that. Like I said, this here is more specifically focused on the plants. Here you can see I just kind of got over having to constantly run back and forth across my base to get, like, in this example, Ziv blood for the Frankies. So I just ended up moving the storage over to closer to the field. So in my opinion, it is always best to keep your storage near your fields at all times, because you're going to have to pop in there for more seeds, more water, Ziv blood, things of the sort. So you might be sitting there and be like, nah, Hunt, you're completely wrong. I can fix her. I got this. She'll be different. Don't worry. Watch this and then tell me in the comments if you still think so. I honestly thought I lost this footage, not gonna lie. I had just made a whole take explaining like, oh, I can't believe I lost the footage, but I got it, so we're good. Gather 500 items. As long as you're completing missions, you've beaten the bad guys, you're resourcing like I am here. Eventually this will pop for you. I don't quite know if buying items counts toward it, and picking up your placeables, I believe does count. Alright, moving along, Slay in Style. This is for performing 50 of the finishing blows. Normally they might just automatically, you know, go off. You could, I think, if you see like their you can use the shakedown option and you use the giving all your stuff option. I believe that will count toward this. As if having your own zombie army wasn't cool enough, that also has different levels of zombies, I guess you could say. Being able to fuse them is so cool. It upgrades them in a lot of different ways, makes them stronger, boosts their HP. Well, sometimes it doesn't always guarantee an HP buff, I don't think, but yeah, I think I've done it like once or twice where they didn't. But anyhow, Unholy Matrimony, use the fuse. Alright, here we finally get to see what the Plat looks like. We heard a whole lot about it from a whole bunch of NPCs, including our character. You know, so I've been wondering the whole time, what does this guy look like? You know, we've only seen him in shadows, we haven't actually seen him see them. So it's pretty cool to actually see him, and I actually think the design's pretty tight.
Your cells, Reed.
Leading up to this final fight with Nebron, Vernon was constantly telling us, yeah, I'm not gonna go, I'm not going, no show, no call, no show kind of thing. And then he pulls up really epically here. I'm really glad he joined the fight against Nebron. I was super excited for him to join. It was pretty cool fighting alongside him and DJ Zen at the same time.
Goodness. Our esteemed Lord and Savior Nebron remembers little old me.
Alright, finally, get to the end of the story here. We're getting Vigilante. This is for defeating Nebron. The fight itself wasn't too bad. I did have a couple of close calls with him here and there, but it was definitely rewarding to defeat him and get this for sure, especially after that whole build-up. But then this happens and kind of takes away some of that epicness, and honestly, kind of almost left me feeling a little anticlimactic.
How can a simpleton like you control what I can't? It can't be impossible!
This I genuinely thought was going to be not only the last trophy I get, but, well, I guess we could say slash this was going to be the one that tops the platinum for me. This one is very tough to get. A Furious Road is for getting the max speed on the sleigh in the junkyard. You gotta get it to the 2.0 version You gotta eat, I think it's at least 15 zombies. And when you see that blue flame, you just gotta go. This is the only trophy in the game that is post-game specific. Just kind of want to throw that out there first and foremost. Max, this is for getting and completing Wave 25 in the Death Gauntlet. It'll open up after you defeat Nebron. I believe it's in between the Arkham City and First Town. It's like right toward that border. Alright, here's what I was kind of referring to earlier. Hammer time, clear all of Vernon's missions. The last mission he's gonna ask, basically offer you, is the final cleanup project on the house. Now, not only do you need to do this for this trophy, but there are several other trophies that are locked behind this mission, so you need to get this out of the way. Staying on the wave of completing side quest lines, this is for completing Jessie's. Fangirl is the name of this trophy. Complete all of her quests and demands, and you'll get this trophy. For the triple play on completing side quest line, Super Green, complete all of DJ Z's quest line, and this will be yours.
Oh yeah!
Kidding?
What's up?
Don't think so.
Hey, okay. Oh yeah!
Here I got a twofer. Genius in the Kitchen and Jack of all trades. Genius in the Kitchen is for learning all the recipes, and Jack of all trades is for unlocking all the skills in general. I was super excited to get both of these because that means I can then take this and go on to the next trophy after, which you actually do need all the recipes unlocked for. Here I got a twofer. Alright, speaking of, 3-star chef, this is for creating a golden vegetable dish. You're going to need one of every single kind of golden vegetable in order to make this. The seeds are quite pricey, so be prepared to sell a whole bunch of stuff. Make sure you're... well, at least I should have said we've been forwarding this entire game so that it'll be easy for you. But yeah, once you make the dish, it'll pop. Coming very close to the end here. I believe this is the second last trophy here. What's yours is mine. This is for stealing 10 items during a shakedown. Now, the description of the trophy, the reason especially I want to read it for this one is because it is completely inaccurate. It doesn't mean 10 items in one go. It's basically stealing from 10 different people.
That's over with.
Just kind of want to throw that one out there. It took me forever to figure that out. Last but certainly not least, Handyman. This is also a very much a big pain. You have to craft every single item in this game, essentially, from every single crafting bench available. So the deep guts, the crafting bench, fire, campfire, the kitchen, everything has to be made at least once. But hey, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. This is the end of the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell for all future videos. I'm going to put a couple videos up here that I think you might like, aka my last 2 videos. So go check them out if you haven't. Enjoy!